Coming up, Syracuse University reports a cluster of new COVID cases. Stay tuned for the university's response. And SU revamps testing for students, faculty, and staff. Find out the new place that you should go to get tested. And find out how this new cluster and pause is affecting student organizations across campus. All that and more next. Welcome to your CitrusTV news update. I'm Ryan Baker. Here's the latest on COVID-19 at Syracuse University. SU is reporting a cluster of 45 new COVID cases after a party on Walnut Avenue over the weekend. There were also 72 more students in quarantine, bringing the total to 134. The Department of Public Safety Chief Robert Maldonado said today that any student who lives or leases an off-campus property that hosts a party will be referred to the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities. Last night, the university paused all non-remote events on campus indefinitely, with the exception of classes, related coursework, and intercollegiate athletics. Food services remains open, but gyms have closed. The Barnes Center is only open for health-related services. An SU's initial investigation into the outbreak found that an SU student with COVID-19 went off campus, came back, and went to a party over the weekend. From there, the student infected others with the virus. The university is strongly encouraging Greek houses to adopt a no visitors policy and social gatherings being limited to as many as 5 people who don't live together. The sudden uptick in cases is leading some students to fear that they might have to pack up and leave. CitrusTV reporter Ricky Sayer has been looking at changes on campus to see what's different today, and he joins us with the latest.
Students are not reacting well to the news that after 7 weeks, SU does have their first known COVID cluster, possibly putting their in-person classes in jeopardy. Right now, they are feeling the effects of SU's measures to slow the spread. In general, they are both shocked by these numbers, while at the same time, not surprised at all. Tonight, Syracuse University seeing a spike in cases and concern.
So I thought that we were doing good, and all of a sudden, things are kind of going downhill.
The university experiencing their most ever known cases in a 2-day span. Yesterday, 16 new student COVID cases, another 20 today.
It was just such a large spike. I knew a spike was bound to happen, but I wasn't expecting 45 cases.
SU now restricting student activities, able to meet in person, just classes, related coursework, and intercollegiate athletics.
It's like they shut down everything they can besides classes right now.
An already quiet campus dropping a few decibels. The Barnes Center and Ernie Davis gyms closed. Clubs unable to operate in person.
But it's still disappointing that we can't participate in our normal activities.
But students by and large understand that's what's necessary to slow the spread coming from gatherings. The university saying as many as 45 cases can be linked to the same off-campus party. 100 cases in a 2-week span would mean SU needs to move all classes online.
I'm very concerned. I mean, we're already about halfway, approaching 3/4 of the way there. I think that it's a serious threat.
So I'm concerned about residential learning really being my issue and whether or not on-campus jobs are going to be available. And I think we are at a tipping point.
Student Association VP Ryan Golden believes cases are bound to rise. The university believes the same.
Speaking statistically, this is not good, and the trajectory that it's going is only going to go up. And I think that we have to prepare for the possibility of residential learning and on-campus jobs no longer being available.
The big question, how much worse will it get, and how long will these restrictions last? We're expecting to get a better idea of that by next Monday. Reporting in Syracuse, Ricky Sayer, CitrusTV News.
Thanks, Ricky. Testing for students affected by the outbreak began this morning at the Dome. The university is pool testing these students to gauge the size of the new outbreak. Overall, SU is switching to a randomized pool testing system for all students going forward, with the Dome as the main area of testing. Testing is now open at the Dome from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So far, SU has administered over 60,000 tests this semester. University cases are expected to climb as more and more students get tested. CitrusTV reporter Greg Bradbury tells us what this means for the coming weeks on campus.
Right now, Syracuse University is racing to track and trace all the students related to last weekend's super spreader party along Walnut Avenue. Now, the biggest concern for the university is being able to stay under that 100 case threshold that would push classes online.
If we don't get out in front of it, the governor shuts us down. So.
Falk School Public Health Professor Dr. David Larson advises SU on COVID-19 precautions. Because of the party, he says that SU's contact tracing team is currently facing a backlog.
We have a backlog right now because it's such a big event in so many cases, but we'll work through it over the next 24 hours or so.
Larson says this weekend is critical to avoiding a surge in cases.
Our testing and our contact tracing is racing to get out in front of this cluster, right? And we'll get out in front of it. And the question will be then, can everybody just pause and give us the time to get out in front of it?
To help, SU is now limiting the amount of people allowed at a gathering.
Self-isolate as much as you can, hang out with your roommates, small groups, like we're talking less than 5 now. Just a very mellow weekend, have a quiet weekend.
Now, anyone who may have been exposed or has symptoms is encouraged to call the Barnes Center hotline. Ryan, back to you.
Thanks, Greg. And in response to the party and rising cases, Barstool's local affiliate released a statement. In it, they said, quote, "While it's easy to detest and villainize those who were in the wrong and made poor decisions, we need to reflect on our shortcomings as the Syracuse student body and go forward with a better plan and positive frame of mind as a collective group." Despite this, some students are frustrated about the violation of the Syracuse University Stay Safe Pledge, and some of them spoke with Citrus TV.
We live off campus, we see what's going on. So I just think the school needs to take immediate action, or else it's just going to continue.
Honestly, I feel like it's just a lot of people who are not thinking about the whole campus. It's more like people in fraternities and these big organizations who just want to have fun for themselves, and they're not really thinking about how it could affect everyone else, because it just takes one person to infect the whole campus. And it is scary knowing that, the fate of your health is in someone else's hands and you have no way to control that. So it's scary. It infects people who were following all precautions, so it's just not fair, because a lot of people I know actually are following precautions, and the fact that they're probably in trouble now, in terms of their health, is just not a fair thing.
Well, I think that it's very irresponsible of the student body to, take this off party and just undermine the efforts of the Syracuse family. I just wish that it could have been different, because I really love being a Syracuse student and I want to be here for them this semester.
Where do you place the blame for this?
I think that there really is only one place for the blame, and that's the student body. I think that we need to be more proactive in trying to secure our health and the health of others. I think that it's really just us, and I hope that this will serve as a lesson to try to increase our responsibility.
What do you think about the steps the university is taking?
But yeah, I'm disappointed with how they acted. That, this was a pretty selfish move to hold parties, especially in this climate.
5 patrons at Beacon Skiff Apple Orchards in Lafayette have tested positive for COVID-19. The Onondaga County Health System says the individuals were at the orchard Saturday afternoon from 2:15 to 4:45 p.m. The patrons did wear a mask at all times except when eating indoors. The group also rode the tractor-pulled wagon where people are seated close together, increasing the risk of exposure, according to the department. The health department is in the process of identifying and notifying all close contacts. Department of Public Safety and the Syracuse Police Department are investigating an attempted sexual assault that occurred near campus. At approximately 7:45 a.m., police responded to a report of a student being attacked while running through Oakwood Cemetery. In an email sent to students, DPS said the suspect reportedly jumped out from behind a bush to attack a student. The student screamed and another runner went over to help. At that point, the suspect grabbed the victim's cell phone and fled the scene. Syracuse police are asking for witnesses to come forward with any information they might have. With in-person events on hold for registered student organizations, some clubs have a tough decision to make about operating during the rest of the semester. Filming for the 3rd season of on-campus reality show Survivor Syracuse is currently underway. President Luke Uriarty says the season will resume filming in person if the school allows.
We're at Survivor Syracuse. We're pretty comfortable. We've made it halfway through the semester, kind of halfway through our season, you can call it, with not many hiccups. Everyone's ready to play. Everyone's really engaged into the org. So I think we're full hands-on. We're safe, and I'd be really ready to maintain in person if we can.
And the shift to fully remote events has been easier for some other organizations. Orange After Dark has been working in a hybrid format since the start of the semester. Event board member Emma Chase says Orange After Dark is prepared for either option.
A lot of our events have been virtual, so we did have in-person events we did have to cancel this weekend, and for the foreseeable future they will remain like in limbo, I guess, until we figure out what's happening with the university and whether like cases continue to increase. But a majority of our events have been virtual, and so they'll either like remain virtual and just stay like that.
The university has not yet given a timeline as to when the events are able to resume in person, but in an email sent to the student body, Interim Director of Student Activities, Courtney Jones, said that the pause will remain at least through the weekend.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a virtual Wednesday weather report. I'm Trey Redfield, taking a look at what's going on right now on campus. Currently 58 degrees outside. Absolute mayhem today with the weather. Scattered thunderstorms around 2:45, around 3 o'clock, but now the sun is starting to peek back out. The wind is absolutely insane to around 22 to 25 miles an hour. So get out that windbreaker as the clouds move eastward across campus. Now let's take a look into tonight. 52 degrees. It's not going to go down too much, but the cloudy skies will still be around. And look, it's going to be cloudy throughout tonight, but the winds will stay down. The winds are going to stay down, not too much still, going to be floating around the teens, 12 to 13 miles an hour. So make sure to keep that windbreaker out if you plan on going to any dining hall tonight. Now let's take a look into tomorrow. 48 degrees at 9 a.m., but not going up too much throughout the day. At noon and 6 p.m., it's going to be around 52 degrees, constant temps throughout tomorrow, and the wind speed will be in the teens once again, around that 12 to 15 mile an hour range as for tonight. So let's move into the current temperatures right now across the state of New York, upstate New York that is. 58 and 59 around the area, especially in Fulton, Rome, Syracuse, Penn and Rochester. Cortland down at 55, but 60s, low 60s, in the southern part of New York in Ithaca, Binghamton, and Elmira. But let's take a look into our 5-day outlook now. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow, mostly clear on Friday, but Saturday, it's game day, ladies and gentlemen. The Orange take on the Blue Devils of Duke in the new dome. Second game in the new dome. It's going to be on ESPN3, so be sure to stay tuned for that beautiful day. So you can go outside and watch it, because why not? We may not get another day like this, but on Sunday and Monday, a 40% chance of showers, so make sure you have that rain jacket to start off week 8 of the semester. But let's go into our activity outlook now. There's no such thing as that. Stay home. Stay home. You've seen the cluster. You've seen the COVID dashboard. 45 cases across central New York. So be sure to stay safe, keep your distance, and stay healthy. It's going to be 58 degrees, and it's probably going to be around that, maybe a little bit higher in your room to watch, I don't know, maybe Cars, Cars 2, Cars 3, all great movies, and you should definitely watch them tonight. So stay home, keep your distance, Syracuse. That's all I have for this virtual Wednesday weather report. I'm Trey Redfield, CitrusTV News.
Good evening. I'm Chris Sachi with sports. Let's start with some great news that hits close to home. Brianna Stewart graduated from Cicero North Syracuse High School in 2012 as the National Player of the Year. Then, after 4 championships in 4 years at UConn, she was the #1 overall pick in the 2016 WNBA draft by the Seattle Storm. Her excellence only continued as a pro. She racked up a championship and an MVP, as well as a Finals MVP in 2018. Her 2019 season, however, was marred by an Achilles injury. But even that couldn't stop Brianna Stewart. She bounced back and then some, with another championship this season and another Finals MVP trophy. Congratulations to Brianna Stewart, and thanks for representing Syracuse so well. Fresh off a bye week, Syracuse football is set to host Duke inside the Carrier Dome this Saturday. The Orange is looking to move to an even 2-2 on the season, while the Blue Devils are looking to get off the schneid. The team has its first 0-4 start since 2006. Despite Duke's poor record, they lost by just 1 touchdown at the hands of Virginia Tech last week in a back-and-forth game. Syracuse head coach Gino Babers says his team might need to adjust to game speed.
They're going to come in here ready to go. They have a huge advantage because they played a game last week, and that normally means that they're going to have an opportunity to start a little bit faster than us. We're going to have an advantage that we're going to have some guys healthy, supposedly. And hopefully, we can catch up to game speed fast enough that we don't get too far behind where we can make a game of it.
Kickoff for this Saturday is set for 12:30. On the diamond, the Yankees divisional series against the Rays is heating up. After the Bombers won Game 1 on the strength of 4 home runs, Tampa struck back in Game 2 with 4 of their own in a 7-5 victory last night. Tonight, the Yankees can bounce back, and they give the ball to Masahiro Tanaka, who holds a stellar 2.7 career postseason ERA. That's all for sports. I'm Chris Sachi.
Citrus TV will be working remotely for the foreseeable future, but we will continue to tell the stories that matter in the SU community. Citrus TV will have continuing coverage on SU's COVID-19 outbreak tomorrow. And that's all the time we have for today on this Citrus TV News Update. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and check out our TikTok. I'm Ryan Baker. Have a great night, Syracuse.